Hola, chat. It's back. Be back. Markets are open in like 4 hours. We're gonna run it up again. The week went very well. Monday, we gotta give it to Monday. Holy fuck. That shit saved our ass. We have Monday, we save our ass. We saved 2 accounts at least. And from that point on, we kept running at one, two, three, 3 days. And then the break even day. Um, but it's been amazing, honestly. Can't complain about it. We chilling, we cooling. But yeah, we definitely gotta be better at a lot of things. And I don't know those a lot of things. I don't know the list of importance of what we gotta work on, but definitely taking less trades is the first thing in the agenda. 141 trades is not, you know, very nice. We should be taking like half the amount. But hey, we're working on one MQ, so I feel like I, I'm more greedy, even though I'm not taking the TPs. If we were taking TPs for each trade, we would have got into these amounts, in a less amount of trades. But the fact that we're up 200 ticks, which is like $100, 400 ticks, multiple times on pretty much all 4 days, I think we're up like $200 in the first hour and a half, just prior to Tokyo Open, and we didn't, was able to capitalize on keeping that and locking it in. And then the other days where I lost it. So it is a bit annoying, but we should be taking breaks in between that. But I just realized like, oh, I should be only taking positions in certain hours. So I've been avoiding that 6:30 uh New York Open to London close, and then we take a position after that. Because my time in my head is like distorted. But I feel like, oh, if I trade after 8:30, there's not gonna be any moves because it feels so close to closing. But in reality, it's so much time from 8:30 to close. It's like 4 hours or something. But it just feels like it's not a lot of time, but it really is though. I think it's because when I trade in New York, I get stopped out so quickly due to the volatility, and it just feels like, oh, time is going quick. But when I take a position, other times the trades take forever. So it feels like, I don't know, it's just distorting my vision, my POV. Like if you look at Monday, right, it was pretty good. First trade, paid 1,500 on that. Doesn't really matter. Here, a lot better. Protecting the TP at New York. Could have done better, but we'll take that. And then if you look at the trades, a lot of you see 450, 650s. Majority of that went at least to $50, so 100 ticks or more. So yeah, a lot of that. And then half of them are like, we're getting the trade, so we got out. But if we are able to run 400 ticks at a time for each trade, man, we just need two, three of that a day, and we'll be fine. Also, I think I was taking too many trades because I wasn't content with just 2 accounts. With 5 accounts, we would make 2.5 times more than what we make right now. we'd be at 10K right now, essentially. But we weren't able to save those, so and I'm thinking of getting another account. Not sure, but definitely I'll look into it at the end of this week. See how the progress went. If we're able to get, you know, all winning days, then I'll think about taking a payout. Maybe $1,000 for just one of the accounts. This account has more money, so I might take it out from this one instead. But and if you look the next day, you know, took TPs, a lot of trades at the end, but protecting the TP was the profits were already up. You know, was important. Just taking break even trades there. Once we were up 50 ticks, you know, I moved my stop loss. Here, beautiful, you know, recovery. I really need to step up my Asia game. Usually, I'm so much better in Asia, but I've been long biased too much in Asia, and I haven't been able to caught up with the sales. You know, this, the downswings in Asia for this week at least, for last week. And I think that's what I struggled so much was I wasn't playing the sorts at all. And that's what I've been struggling with the past, you know, volatility. Unlike last year, I was doing really good in August when market started selling up. Here, chilling again. Asia could have been so much better, but we'll take it. Even popped at the end, so that's beautiful. Yeah, this would have been a good day. I actually had like a long, but it got stopped out at the end. I think it happened at like 1 a.m. So 30 minutes later, you know, we couldn't get it. We can look into it. Let me see. Overall, happy, you know, 4K, even if it's two counts, you know, I'll take it. Good progress. That's what we should look like, you know. No losing days. Protect the capital. That's all that matters. If we lose, let's say our first trade we lose 100, you know, we get stopped out at 200 ticks. Our first priority is to get back to break even, or at least get to break to even, and then let it run. See if it has potential to go more, which could be such a double-edged sword. Because if you don't move your stop loss quickly enough to 200 ticks, let's say it does pop, and then seconds later it comes down, and it never goes back above 200 ticks, then you could be looking at a break even trade. That's how I see it. Let me open up the trading view charts. Definitely been using the 20-minute charts. It's fantastic. ATR, amazing too. We still above 763 ticks. I mean points per day. So there's a lot of opportunity. So I can't even trade, you know, two M&Q yet. That's just way too much. Let me change it to 10 because actually, I'm changing to 5. Just the fact that I should have a weekly outlook. I should have a different chart for this. Let me change it. So yeah, you can, you know, change your positions based on the ATR. We're still at 703. Yeah, the last Friday, the range was quite smaller at 1400. So you divide that by four, you get, you know, how many wins. That's like what, 300? So it's not It's not that big. It's like 350 ticks, 350 points. So that would be like the big day back then, but this volatility should clear up very soon. Because August, dude, I was missing combines and making bank that I never got, to take out. I mean, we caught the rise. We started Top Step in April, so catching that was adjusting. And then missing all this movement was crazy. That day when they went up 10%, oh my god. We could have been looking at, you know, 5 digits. A single M and Q. It's crazy. But yeah, let's see what this next week show. So we'll see. A bunch of news. 5:30. I do not. I just like the 7 o'clock news because if I have a trade on, actually, I don't know. I haven't done the research. But sometimes 7 o'clock news, especially if you're in the Asia trade, and that thing ran up, over London night open, and then you wake up at 5:30, and that shit propels into your direction of your trade further. It's better. And then let's say there's a 5:30 and a 7 o'clock news. That's even better. They all go the same way. You get them 250 point trades back in the day, and it's a normal volatility. So we could be looking at that. Yeah, I've been looking at the 20-minute charts. I don't really know what indicators to put on time based charts, but honestly, I think I'm content with the two standard view up. Just that I shouldn't be using this to trade because even if let's say, oh, this is the high and the bottom, sometimes that ends up not becoming true because the market changes from a trend to a range, but you don't know if you're in a range or a trend because you can just predict, oh, this is the bottom, when you're and it ends up becoming the bottom. Then yeah, right. But sometimes things become different, so you never want to like double down on that thing. That's why you gotta trade it. You're taking a chance on it, right? That's why you have risk management. And I think once we are live, trying to get to a risk manager of 214 trades. That's the amount of trades we can lose to blow up an account. And if our stop loss is still 260 at that point, that'll be 200 times. So it'd be $100 because one M and Q is 50 cents a tick, and 260 is $100 for it. And we multiply that. We're gonna need $31,000. And then after that, we're trying to scale it. So I'm definitely gonna be more aggressive once we get to live. I'll probably stick with two M and Q, not gonna lie. And then I want to keep this 314 like thing. I don't know if it's just a good number, I guess, because high. But it seems like it would offer us the most least amount of pressure. But at that point, it'd be like, oh, even one trade is important to us. So losing one trade would still be important. But having the buffer of 314 trades in a row to lose, it's fantastic. So that's the goal. I think after 100K, that's gonna be the goal, is to work on that. But to reach 100K, we're gonna be more aggressive. At least for now, we would have like a 100 at least. So 100, so 10, I need to see this. I need to see it. I need to get a scaling calculator. My brain is not working at the moment. 100 times 100, this is 10,000. So yeah, 200. If that's a, if it was 100, we would need less than that. But volatility right now is crazy high. So I think moving forward, even 100 ticks is not enough. I have to move to 150 ticks. It just feels a lot more to work with. But still, we'd be entering, even in this current run of the X phase, some bad entries. Like we aren't waiting for any bullish candles to come in on the tick charts, especially. And in tick charts, they happen to, continue a move as long as it takes to change the print, the same color, same side. So also got to work on that. But the amount of trades of buffer, the HP of our account is going to be the most important thing. So I did not want to be blowing up another account. It gets annoying at certain points. Realizing how much effort each trade requires is also something we realized recently. Also, even giving people attention, even just not even people, just anything in general, like putting it attention. I realize, consciously, you need to give it energy, even if you don't think you want to give it energy. Just by giving it, you know, your eyes, it will require energy. That's why I got out of the topstep Discord. That I was able to focus on the trades, read the market, be in the flow with it was the most amazing thing that happened last week. You know, seeing the market move. Oh yeah, in a couple minutes after you take a trade, it's amazing. I was trying to use the fair value gaps, the inverse fair value gaps again, but I feel like it's just not good. They're still not profitable, I guess. I mean, here, right? You take a trade. I mean, this alone is a 500 ticks, so I don't know what trade you would take there. Maybe you re-enter again at the midpoint. That's better than me taking 30 trades, so I mean, that's never voted against that. But if we're able to read the market much more below that, you know, and we buy at the bottom zero. Look, this is the low, and they just struggle to move any further down here. Well, there's this candle, but after that, it just got bought back up. See, the most drawdown you take is 78. And if you're content with that, you would buy this. This would be a level because the candle after that, it just blew up and engulfed it. So that's definitely a level to look at. And if you play that, fantastic. And you could move your stop loss to break even and even into the green like 5 ticks in. And could have made that 1484. So pretty much imagine making the range of the day would have been crazy. 371 points. Yeah, fantastic. $700 right there. just from that move alone. We did take 568, so I'm content with that. 570, so I'm content with that. But I don't know. Each day's gonna be always different, of course. Like here, right? I ran this boy up. What day was this? What is it? $807, right? From that single trade, we went from 18 to making $800. Although we were up $900, and then we I think we pushed the stop loss too fast that we got stopped at. And if we didn't, we would have been up much more than that. I'm not sure what time I entered, but let's see. I entered at 7:15. Wow, 7:15. Is that right? This is Eastern? It's definitely gotta be Eastern, no? Would it be 10:15? Hold on. Oh, wait. What? 7:15? That's gotta be 10:15, right? Or is this a different day? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh no, that was Thursday, bro. Yeah, the crazy thing is we didn't. Oh my God, we missed such a. This is okay. This was this day. 12:31. We finally exit the position. Got stopped out while I was asleep, and it was in this candle, I guess. So I mean, yeah, we would have survived any of that, anyways. I mean, there was a level I think that I was looking at, which was this low here. It was a low of that gap from Tuesday. Man, a rejection down there. Jesus. I was actually looking into that, but at that point we were down like $500, and I just took longs. But damn, bro, so bad. Like missing a trade like that was crazy. The only thing I was asleep, so GG's. Should have just left a limit order there. That would have been better than watching this all along. I gotta definitely experiment with that, leaving limits overnight, see if they hit or not. Would be fantastic. But yeah, that's a day, fuck, would have been a crazy day. But missing it out, unfortunate. We were trading this like I didn't want to trade it during six, and then ended up getting stopped right here, I think. I don't know where, but after that it was just a grind. It is the good day. $800, 637. Wait, single day, single out. No, no, definitely not. Yeah, I bought it down here. See, playing the lows with gasters is so much better. See, we played down here. And it just went up. I was hoping it would go higher, but no, there was no more volume after that. And I almost started blowing it up the end, but as you can see, we controlled ourselves right here. Because we were getting a little rowdy. in the middle of the view of standard deviations, it's not like any good trades at all. But I gave it so much energy, I got tired that day. I think that's why I was like that on Thursday because I gave it so much energy at the end. Like how many trades was that? Like one, two, like I don't even know how much. But it was at the end that contributed to so much trades. Because from an 838, there was not a lot of trades. And that's like it's like one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, after that we just doubled the amount of trades we needed. Yeah, missing that out was bad, but it is what it is. And then, you know, Monday, fantastic. Thank God it sold off. That's how we made our money. We could have remembered that. Yeah, 3 more hours. So next move is the question. How big is it get? Huh. But yeah, folks, I think that's it. Yeah, looking at this energy, I'm just sleeping.